Well, welcome back to another edition of 42nd Street Pete's Grindhouse. I'm going to call this one Laughing at the Exorcist, because that's exactly what we did. The big hubbub when that came out about people were flipping out and throwing up and doing all kinds of other weird shit, so me and Big Al had heard about this fucking thing and decided to go see it. And of course, we got sufficiently lubricated before we entered the theater, which might have been the reason we were set off so much. Honestly, the only part of that movie that actually creeped me out was the beginning with that scuttling shit in the attic. And that sort of creeped me out. But the other stuff, well, we were in hysterics when she started, fuck me, and, all this other shit and throwing up. We were just fucking laughing our balls off because we were so fucking drunk. And all the crazy shit that happened in there. And then, continuing drinking through the whole thing because we did sneak bottles in. And, then, after years later, you got to go back and watch it sober and realize that it's, a pretty good fucking flick. But, like I said, back then everybody was, getting scared and puking and shit like that. And to be honest with you, when I got home, the room I was staying in had an entrance to an attic, to a crawl space up there. And I put a fucking chair under the doorknob of that fucking thing when I went home because, like I said, that scuttling in the attic got to me. So, now we segue a few years down the road to Chiller Theater, and they book Linda Blair as a guest. Okay, I'm not really a Linda Blair fan, I could give a shit less. But anyway, to a lot of people on the staff, she was a high-profile guest. So she's all set up, and it's Friday night, and Kevin comes up to me and he goes, I got a problem with Linda. And I said, what's that? He goes, she's flipping out because somebody's selling the crucifixion photos. I guess these were the photos where she was getting herself off with a crucifix or something. So he goes, can you find these guys and tell them not to do it or ask them please not to do it? So pretty much back then I knew all the vendors and I went on to all the still dealers and said, look, we got an issue with her. She's flipping the fuck out. Can you not sell the thing? So they all agreed not to sell it. So I go back over to her and I said, okay, I solved the problem. Nobody's going to be selling those photos anymore. She didn't even thank me. So later on that day, an actress named Nikki Fritz, who unfortunately is no longer with us, asked me if I could take her down to Linda real quick and get a picture with her because she had her own table to run. So I said, let me see what she says. So I go down and I get her on the side. I go, look, I got a fellow actress up on the second floor. She's got a table too. She wants to know if I could just run her down and get a quick picture with you. Linda turns to me and goes, she'll have to stand in line like everybody else. I said, well, what if I want a picture with you? She goes, you'll have to stand in line with everybody else. Well, that was sort of like, something, fuck you. I know you're an animal activist and so am I, but I've never screamed across a room about somebody taking a fucking long shot at me screaming, I want $20 for my fucking animals. That's bullshit. So I'm ignoring her for the rest of the show, and it comes to the end, and I think it was Kevin said, you want to get a picture taken with her? And I said, only if she'll autograph a dead squirrel or a broom handle from Born Innocent. And I walked away. I never had anything to do with her after that, to be honest with you. I know she's been there several times, but really, as far as guests I didn't get along with, she's right up there along with David Hess, so, or whatever. But I never made an issue of it. And speaking of making issues of some things, I recently, we all know what happened this week, and we all know that Charlie Kirk got assassinated. And I find it very interesting that he's roughly the second person that basically was connected to the Epstein files, and now he's not here because he said something about releasing the Epstein files a couple of weeks ago, which he was roundly jumped on by the MAGA faithful. So I don't know what the deal is here. And what happened was a guy I'd known for a while got me on Facebook and basically said, I thought you were a proponent of free speech, and how could you say the shit that you said, and how can you block this guy? Your pornography is offensive to some, and my God, man, this man got shot in front of his wife and kids. Well, Tim, you blocked me so I couldn't even say anything to you, which, was kind of fucked up, but be that as it may, you don't want to deal with me anymore, fine. I appreciate your business, I appreciate your friendship, but if this is the way you want it to end over some scumbag who basically I wasn't aware of how bad this guy was until I read his manifesto. And he preached violence, and he said something about a couple dead kids don't count as long as we have our Second Amendment rights. And he also said that, we should bring back executions and we should make kids watch them. Well, dude, I guess you got your wish because your kids got to watch your own execution. It's pretty fucked up that something you embraced and loved killed you in the end. If that's what it was. I'm starting to think otherwise. But anyway, I had another guy who actually wrote for one of the issues of the magazine, who I had to block last night, who not only advocated bringing the death penalty back, advocated bringing back torture before the death penalty. And I said, dude, this speaks volumes about you and I want nothing to do with you. So it's kind of fucked up, and it just, there's something else going on here. Whatever's in them goddamn files must be fucking so inflammatory and so fucking bad that it's worth killing people to keep it quiet. This is really fucked up. And I may be painting a bullseye on my own fucking head, but you know something? We're in fucking chaos right now. And, if you support this guy, that's on you. But you see what's going on? We're fucking swirling the bowl, and there's nobody stopping it. And they keep saying this is all a big leftist conspiracy and shit like that when it's anything but. Somebody's starting to foment something because somebody wants a fucking civil war in this country. And why this shit is allowed to go on, I keep saying and saying, I don't understand it. I don't understand why somebody hasn't stepped forward, but then again, nobody's going to step forward. It's a whole new fucking ballgame. The America we once knew and embraced is no more. And now we have this mutated version of it. And in this mutated version of it, I guess human life isn't too important. They're going to let this guy lie in state. Yesterday was 9/11. And flags should have been at half-mast at 9/11, but they were put at half-mast because of Charlie fucking Kirk, who's a nobody. He has nothing to do with anything. A big, right-wing big mouth who advocated violence against everything, violence against women, violence against just about everybody. And maybe he crossed the line with his fucking handlers, and maybe he's gone, because that was a professional hit, my friends. No fucking way was that not a professional hit. That wasn't an amateur. And the guy's gone. So go figure. And like I said, I'm not trying to start any shit here, but god damn it, this is fucking bullshit, and everybody fucking knows it. And if you really embrace this shit, there's something fucking wrong. We got to straighten this shit out. And, people are calling for this and calling for that. Maybe it's time to calm down. Tone this fucking rhetoric down, because the rhetoric started when Donald Trump took office the first time. Now it's escalated to the point where it's out of fucking control. And there's got to be a lid put on it. But that's only my opinion. Who the fuck am I? So anyway, that's our show for today. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, and one of these guys says something about organizing a boycott of my merchandise. Well, knock yourself the fuck out, because I haven't sold anything in the last 3 months anyway. So you're not going to fucking hurt me doing that. Nobody's got any money anyway, thanks to the bullshit that's going on. So anyway, above all, stay safe this weekend. It's supposed to be nice. Maybe it ain't going to get too shitty. Try to go out and enjoy yourself. Stop and smell the roses, maybe. I don't fucking know. And as for my birthday coming up next Wednesday, sure, I'm open to fucking donations of weed. But something, you want to really do something in my name, go to a no-kill shelter and donate some food. That's the best way to go. Because speaking of that, Boots is not really doing well. I was at the vet yesterday to get her shot, and she's not doing well. I'm doing the best I can, but usually I'm kind of optimistic about keeping it going, but right about now I'm not, because I don't like the way she's acting. She's confused, and like I said, I'm not going to do this for my own gratification. I'm just watching her carefully. I'm losing a lot of sleep over it. But I just got the feeling we're hitting the end, and it really sucks, and I'm just having a hard time dealing with it. So, again, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all your support. Stay safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.